I feel like in California, we really crush the breakfast burrito game and burritos in general. Yes, the creaminess of the avocado. This one is definitely spicy. Andrew got me. This season, we're traveling through California to see what the Golden State has to offer. I've been training for this moment my whole life. I'm so excited to be back in San Francisco. Every sort of style of dining, every format truly shines. Dang, look at that. It's definitely a memorable bite. From breakfast burritos to world-class tasting menus, this city's standards are sky high. You're gonna be so delicious. I'm Chef Nyesha Arrington, and this is Plateworthy. We are here in the Mission District, home of the iconic Michelin-style burrito, and we're here at Breakfast Little. Chef Andrew Perez is putting his cultural heritage, his beautiful San Francisco roots into an amazing breakfast burrito. Cannot wait to taste.
We've been here since 2018. Started off with coffee, came up with my own recipes, and the burritos actually just came as like an ode to the mission.
Yes.
OG is basically what we started with.
Okay.
Pretty simple, but what really makes it over the top is our in-house aioli. Do you like avocado?
Love avocado. I'm a California girl.
You like it spicy?
Love spicy. The spicier the better.
Oh,
the spicier the better.
Okay, give us a couple minutes. We'll
Amazing.
have this ready for you.
Amazing. Thank
Perfect.
you. And of course, we got to get into that cross section, right? Guys, there's tater tots in this burrito, and I'm very excited about that. Ha! This is what I'm talking about. Layers of flavor. Everything is seasoned throughout. The egg is cooked perfectly. It's creamy, great texture. And I love that they actually chop the bacon up, so you kind of get that perfect bite every time. Everything is structured so beautifully. I'm gonna go in with the salsa verde first. Happy food. I really appreciate how much of the spice they put in here. Dang, Breakfast Little be doing burritos very well. There's nothing little about Breakfast Little. Excuse me. Spicy. The creaminess of the avocado. This one is definitely spicy. Andrew got me. Little palate cleanser. Dang, really great way to start the day. So excited to experience this next stop, Sōhn. This place is more than just a restaurant. It's more of a gathering space with amazing food. Chef Hong is doing some incredible things. Let's go. What's up? Thanks for having me. I mean, I'm just living off that palpable energy as soon as you walk into the building.
Thank you so much for being here.
What an amazing establishment you have here.
Hopefully we're known for a lot of things, but definitely the space is a unique experience coming in.
What are we making here today?
We have our Galbi patty melt. We're starting off with ground beef. Something that I do look for is, I call it meat sweats. So when there's a little bit of grain, right? Meat sweats for you personally, but also for our patty.
Totally.
So you'll see those juices popping up in there. I try to flip it once.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we really want that crust.
I noticed that it's a square shape. Is
Yes.
there any particular reason for that?
I'm a fast food guy.
Same.
So Wendy's,
Same.
I grew up eating Wendy's,
Absolutely.
so a little homage to them.
Yes.
But also we made our croissants to that shape.
Oh, you make the croissant in-house?
We do.
Okay.
So we have a bakery attached to it. We make our own croissant kind of sesame buns.
Ooh, perfect bite every time.
The onion's gonna cook a little bit. We think cheddar goes really well. That's also an homage to like a traditional patty melt.
Of course.
When that melts, I put our Galbi sauce. It's probably the most iconic Korean barbecue sauce, like soy, ginger, garlic, fresh fruit, sesame. Some things we keep very traditionally Korean. Some things we incorporate a lot of American. I grew up in America. I'm a Korean American. So that should play a part.
It might be a technique from one part of the world and a flavor from another.
And this coleslaw is a very good example of that. The technique of it is coleslaw, but the flavor of it is kimchi with the Korean chili peppers and whatnot. So
Gochugaru.
gochugaru, right? Cabbage, scallions, carrots. Sometimes less is more.
Absolutely. I grew up with my grandmother, who's a Korean immigrant. My grandparents met each other in the Korean War, but I grew up with my grandmother fermenting with things in the backyard and on the roof, and like these incredible flavors that, you know, really inspired and developed my palate.
I love that.
It's so cool to see this exploration. This is happiness on a bun. I'm excited. I'm going to your beautiful dining room to enjoy this. Bye.
Hi, Nyesha.
Hey, girl.
Welcome to Sōhn. This is our banana oat milk latte with espresso.
Girl, I gotta say, honestly, like huge kudos to you and your team. The vibe, as soon as you walk through the doors, quite literally like hugs your entire soul.
Our ethos is many hands made for all. During the day, we're definitely a cafe, but in the evenings, we intentionally close to host cooking classes. We do kimchi making parties, mandu making parties. There's so many people and so many different creative backgrounds that have really made this space come to life.
Thank you, Janet. Thank you for creating such a beautiful space.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm going in for this fried chicken. This is marinated 24 hours in a simple marinade of soy, some amazing aromatics, served with this tteokbokki, which is a delicious sort of rice cake that is deep fried. I'm so glad I don't live down the street because I would literally eat this every day. Fried chicken is one of my favorite foods. What can I say? The piece de resistance. A patty melt, kimchi coleslaw. Dang, look at that. Ha! Heck yeah. This is one of those quintessential mashups that actually works. This is how you celebrate a classic dish, the patty melt, right? When I think about diner food, nostalgic food, you know, there's simplicity in something like a patty melt, but then you take that classic and you add your heritage to it. This is definitely a memorable bite. We're here at Sons and Daughters, a incredible fine dining staple here in San Francisco. But Chef Harrison is taking it to new, unparalleled heights. I'm excited to see his beautiful techniques. Let's go.
Welcome to Sons and Daughters.
Happy to be here.
We're going to prep some trout, one of our signature courses on the menu. One of the first dishes I actually put on the menu when I took over at Sons and Daughters.
Excellent.
Beautiful trout from Mount Lassen, about 200 miles north. It's a family-owned farm. They really focus on reenacting the natural habitat of the trout.
Beautiful. You're gonna be so delicious.
It changes seasonally with the fish, so when it's halibut season, we're definitely gonna have local halibut.
Sure.
Towards the end of the year, we'll probably have rockfish on the menu, but right now, during winter, they're at their best, so we really wanna make sure we utilize them.
Lovely.
So we now have all of the cartilage off it. We're gonna pin bone the fish.
Yes.
That's really, really important, obviously, because we're gonna slice it very thinly.
Is this a personal technique?
We did something similar for a restaurant called Guest for a Geek in Stockholm.
Heard of it?
Yeah, it was an incredible
big deal.
experience. It was a very, very special restaurant.
You must have been a baby back then.
Yeah. So at this point now, this is the curing. This is equal parts salt and sugar, pretty neutral. We just want to let the trout shine. So we're going to put this in our fish fridge in the back kitchen now. We're going to leave it there for around 25 minutes, making sure it's nice and cold, and then after we're going to wash it up.
Excellent.
So after the 25 minutes of curing, we washed it in the ice water and we just let it sit overnight.
Love
and we
that.
let that cure really sit in. You can see that it's firmed up, the color's changed. So we're going to remove the skin, we're going to take the loins off, and then we're going to finely slice it and lay it. We're going to try and get beautiful pieces like this.
And how many covers are you doing roughly a night?
We do about 30 covers a night.
Okay.
We only do one turn. We wanted to create an experience that guests don't feel rushed, they don't feel pressured. People pay a lot of money to eat here, and we want them to feel like they can, you know, really take their time and enjoy the experience. But I have to put your name on the menu tonight.
What an honor.
The end result is going to be a perfect mosaic of trout.
So pretty.
We're going to get a piece of acetate, push out any air pockets,
Okay.
and create like this really beautiful flat layer. So that's going to go in the freezer. We like to keep it about 24 hours to make sure that it's extremely set.
So we're here at your beautiful range stove. I mean, this is where the magic happens. What's the next step in this beautiful dish?
So we're now going to make the sauce for the trout. We want to build some flavor. This is just sliced shallots and garlic. So as they start to get this golden color, now we're going to add the lactic fermented root vegetables.
Okay.
So we have fennel, celeriac, and carrots.
How long is that fermentation process?
This is 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's funky, it's lightly acidic.
Oh,
it's
incredible.
super, super tasty.
Oh, the aromatics are so stunning.
You know, it's one of those flavors that when I taste it, it makes me think of us as a restaurant. So now we've softened and lightly caramelized those root vegetables. We've added a little bit of water and the lactic fermented brine from the vegetables, that almost raw vegetable stock.
Wow.
We're gonna bring it to the boil.
Yes.
We're gonna let it simmer for a few hours just to gently cook down and infuse, cool it down, leave it overnight, and then we'll get on to the next step.
Ah, no flavor opportunity missed. I'm very excited to see the final result.
So this is going to be for the oil to season the sauce with. It's a very light, delicate sauce, even though it's high on acidity and all those herbaceous notes.
Yes.
But the oil really helps stick those flavors to your palate. So we have these beautiful currant branches.
Yes.
We're going to separate the leaves. Very different flavor profiles. It does have that fruity flavor to it, but It smells like a forest. So now this is the fun part. This is just gonna bruise them. Just gonna,
Yes.
so you can see the green start to come through, and that's really when the flavors release.
I've been training for this moment my whole
Exactly,
life.
exactly.
This is literally why I go to the gym.
Smashing currant branches.
Yes.
I smash currant branches so I don't have to go to the gym.
I'm really enjoying this.
A little bit too much, actually.
Wow.
Change the bag, obviously, as you
Punctured.
smash this one up quite well. So this is just canola oil.
Neutral.
Exactly, a neutral oil. We
Yes.
don't want any flavour coming through. And we're going to vac this. I'm going to remove all the air, and I'm actually going to double bag it because we're going to cook it in a slowly simmering pot. Around 3 hours, and we leave this for a week.
Okay.
So after simmering that barrel for around 3 hours, we allowed it to cool overnight with all those vegetables inside to really make sure that we extract as much flavour as possible.
So clean.
First, we need to clarify. So
Yes.
we use 7% egg whites. That's pretty standard for the restaurant. So this is what we're looking for.
Beautiful.
Make sure that it's fully incorporated.
Yes.
We're gonna take this to the stove, and we're gonna slowly bring this up. So this is really when we put all the flavour into the barrel. So we have some savoury,
Savoury.
thyme, lemon thyme,
Yes.
dill, currant leaves that we just picked, and the beautiful coriander
Wow.
blossoms.
What an interesting flavor profile. Just flavor on flavor on flavor. Incredible.
We're really trying to reinforce it.
Yes.
You can see it separated. The whites are never going to fully set like they would if you clarify the chicken consomme or
Sure.
something. That's because of the lactic acid that's in there already. As it's draining through, it's just dripping on top of all of those herbs.
This sort of distillation.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous amount of herbs in comparison to liquid, but we want it to be so bright and fresh. Let's come back to that later. Now we're going to make the cream that the trout's going to sit on top of.
Awesome.
We're going to blend the offcuts of the trout
Yep.
with egg yolks, lemon juice, salt, and slowly emulsify oil in.
I mean, I've never seen a Thermomix like this. This is like a big fancy car.
It's pretty ridiculous.
So creamed, but no cream.
Exactly.
Love that.
Exactly. We're now going to pass the mousse just to ensure that there's no pieces of, fish offcuts or
Oh,
anything
my
like that.
favorite pastime. The old passing.
Oh, exactly. Now just a little bit of this beautiful Meyer lemon zest. We're just going to chill that over ice. We're going to bag it, and then it's ready to go.
Beautiful. I mean, the trout has traveled quite a journey.
So now after 24 hours, it's nicely frozen, and we're going to let it temper just for a few minutes, just so we can get a beautiful, clean punch.
Beautiful.
So this is what we end up
Look
with.
at that.
All of these offcuts are going to be made into the cream that we tasted earlier.
Okay, that makes sense.
And the reason we added this cream was not just to prevent the waste, it was also actually to add some fat to the dish.
Sure.
So we're just going to let it sit for about 3-4 minutes.
Beautiful.
It's just going to finish off softening and defrosting, and it's going to be perfect. So.
Absolutely. Really incredible, stunning start to the tasting menu, I imagine. Right now we're with the currant wood oil, the berry goju.
So we had about 2 spoonfuls of sauce. This is the barrel, currant wood oil. It appears to be really simple, but
Sure.
as you've seen behind the scenes, there are a lot of steps. Cured trout from Mount Lassen, with lactic fermented root vegetables, dill vinegar, and an oil made from smashed currant branches.
This is how I want to start a tasting menu.
It's light,
It's
bright.
light, it's elegant, it's feminine in quality. I
For
feel.
sure, I completely agree.
You know? And this celebrates Northern California with the ingredients. This is making me emotional.
Thank you.
Truly. I mean, it takes you on a journey because you get this sort of light brininess from the trout, and then the way that the cream trout mousse comes in and just really impacts the flavor and the experience of the trout itself.
You need that fat to round the
You
dish
really
off, because
do.
otherwise it would be very light and sweet and almost acidic. It really balances it, and it definitely adds some texture to it as well, or another layer of texture.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Gosh, what an incredible way to end the San Francisco journey. I mean, here at Sons and Daughters, experiencing different formats of dining, from fine dining to burritos to the incredible Korean cuisine. And I can't wait to do it all again. Thank you, San Francisco. Look at this insane spread. No, be normal. We're stopping in San Francisco. Stop laughing at me. Come on now, come on. I'm just standing there awkwardly. What do I do with my hands? Oh no. Swap. We need a name
What
for swap.
happened? I need to stop eating platinum.
Incredible techniques and flavor. Huh?